I'm Tommy, and it's time for Final Thoughts. And yes, let's go there and talk about the American Health Care Act, referred to by some as Trump Care, others as way better than Obamacare, and by the alt-left psychos as the Death Sentence to Americans Act. Here we go again. Is the plan perfect? No. Is it everything we Republicans wanted? No. Is it a good freaking start? Yes. Is it better than Obamacare? Yes. Does it get rid of government-mandated health insurance and lessen the weight of the entitlement program, loved by socialists like Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas Lizzie Warren? Yes! Think about it this way. If we were under President Hillary right now, we'd likely be moving to socialized healthcare and a single-payer disaster in which hard-working taxpayers would continue to foot the bill for others, meanwhile struggling to pay their own bills. That's the socialist ideal and a win for lazy sacks of shit at the expense of hard-working Americans. No thanks. And let's just get something straight right here. Nowhere in the Constitution or Bill of Rights does it state taxpayers shall pay for other people's health care. Nope, not in there. And to the bleeding heart drama queens out there trying to pass this off as a death sentence for Americans, give it a rest. You're full of shit. Lizzie Warren, you are full of shit. This notion that the government should be the almighty savior or some bloated system of entitlements and handouts is the exact opposite mentality of Trump voters. Entitlement programs are meant to be a safety net, not a hammock for those who just don't feel they need to support themselves. Enough with the sob story. You know what's sad? When hardworking Americans bust their asses to make a decent living, but fall just above the threshold of getting those government freebies. Oh, and are saddled with outrageous deductibles and premiums that make healthcare accessible on paper, but not affordable in reality. That's the real tragedy. The GOP plan isn't perfect, but at least it's something. We've got more work to do, that's for sure. But need I remind you, in his first 100 days, President Trump has enforced a red line in Syria Obama never had the balls to do. He dropped the mother of all bombs on Muslim terrorists, nominated conservative Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court, cut back regulations, met with world leaders, green-lighted 2 pipelines, signed more legislation in his first 100 days than any president since Truman, renewed border enforcement and consumer confidence. Oh, and 317,000 more Americans are working today. Unemployment has dropped, and labor participation is making a comeback. The American people finally have an advocate instead of a swamp rat politician. And yeah, we're pretty stoked. And what have the Democrats done? Complained about Trump, made signs, marched around, complained about Trump, marched with vaginas on their heads, and blamed men and misogyny for their losses. Wow. Keep whining, Democrats. You might as well start planning for Trump 2020 marches because all you're doing is helping us with Trump's re-election. But thanks. Those are just my final thoughts. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tomi Lahren from Dallas. God bless and take care.
So there she is, basically admitting that she wants all Americans to have health care. She just don't want to chip in to help pay for it. And that is the position of Republicans. Their big thing with Obamacare was, hey, it's not fair that you're mandating that Americans pay for health care. Not everybody wants health care. That is a bold-faced lie. Who the hell don't want health care? The problem is most Americans cannot afford health care. And the Republicans had no problem gutting that bill so that 24 million Americans lose their health care. Now, I'm going to tell you something straight up. A lot of people going to die as a result of Donald Trump gutting that health care bill. I'm telling you straight up, but they don't give a damn about that. They're riding with the elite. They got their hands in the pockets of these lobbyists. They're rolling and they're fighting for the interest of the big pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare giants, insurance companies. That's what it's about, man. It boiled down to money. It ain't got nothing to do with caring a damn thing about the American people. This is all about them getting their sleazy ass hands on more money. That's all it's about. Now, if you really were serious about all Americans having health care, it is very easy to make that happen. We don't even have to do a mandate to make people get health care or we're going to penalize. We ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is make health care a public service expense, just like we do for parks, football stadiums, basketball, baseball stadiums and arenas, the same way we do for streets, street signs, bridges, parks, the same way. Your taxes pay for shit you don't even benefit from every day. Many of our taxes, you're paying what? Depending on what state you're in, you might be paying up to 10% for state taxes. Then you got your federal taxes, which could be anywhere from 30 to 40% of your income. Everybody pays taxes. Every single person. I don't give a damn if you poor, broke, in the ghetto, whatever. You in a trailer park, whatever. You're paying taxes every time you walk into a store. Even if you're unemployed, you are paying taxes. So your tax dollars are already there to cover those health expenses if the government really was serious and they wanted it to. But they rather your tax dollars go on something like resort tax, travel, hotel, limousine fees, shit like that, stadium fees. The money is there. It's all about whether or not they want to allocate a certain amount of that money to go toward health care. There's no reason why every single American should not be covered with health insurance. There's no reason, period.